Let's jump in now to the human psychology and persuasion discussion. That's something that you've expressed interest in. How does that actually show up in the way that you build websites or the way that you run campaigns? Do you have a specific example of how you leverage that type of thinking?
Yeah, I think it's just really, I mean, we just did a website for a company. Unfortunately, due to NDAs, I can't say the exact name, but they're in property. They do high-end luxury property. One build could be like $2 million plus, right? That kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So it's not small. You see, we all, so say for example, if I have 3 cars, a Mazda, a Mercedes, a Maserati, they're all 4 wheels with the steering wheel, but each one attracts a different type of user and a different type of buyer. And I think we need to realize the way we design our websites actually, it's like the bait, right? The different type of bait catches a different fish. And we just need to know who we're attracting, and we need to also make it look in a certain way to match accordingly. Because a Mazda person isn't going to walk until, to buy a Maserati. And a Maserati person doesn't want it to look like a Mazda. So it's just really making sure that you've got the right look to persuade or persuade someone. And persuasion is the word from Dr. Robert Cialdini from his book. Have you read Persuasion?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
You can actually influence someone. Yeah, you can actually influence someone prior to engagement. And so if I look high-end, if I look established, then I kind of know that I'm going to be spending a bit more money. But we have high-end builders who look cheap, and they wonder why they can't convince people to sign on the dotted line, because it's like, well, you're not attracting the right people because you don't look like it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we kind of just need to make sure that everything aligns. So yeah, we attract whatever we put out. So
yeah, the look of a website is absolutely a trust factor. I've got friends in business who are, selling a very high-end product, but their website is something they built themselves. And I'm like, guys, you are really doing yourselves a disservice. They've got some kind of software installed that shows them, on the back end who's visiting their website. And they're seeing, some very high-value customer, potential customers come around, but they're not converting because they haven't taken the time to
100%.
Create something trustworthy.
We do this fun test, actually. And so anyone who's listening, play along. Think about your business just for a moment, your own business, whatever it is, and how would you rate your business out of 10? Okay, so in terms of how professional you are, your service, your quality, your aftermarket, so whatever it is and stuff, rate it out of 10. Think of a number. It's like a magic trick. Think of a number. You got a number? Okay, whatever number you have in your head that represents your business, throw it in the bin. It doesn't matter what you think. It's what the customer thinks. So, and the only way your customer is going to tell what your business or how good your business is they're just going to look at what's out there in the public, right? So unless I rock up to your office, talk to your staff, look at your showroom, whatever, which I'm not going to do, by the way, because I have no idea who you are first. I'm just going to do my due diligence first. And it's going to be your website. That's going to be the first point of call. So if you said, and you're listening to this podcast, and you gave your own business a 8.5 out of 10, but I would look at your website and I read the basics, like we said before. Who are you? What do you do? Why should I choose you? How to get in touch? And I also look at it from what I call a heart perspective and a head perspective. So the heart is the emotional stuff. So does it look good? Is it nice? Does it make it feel whatever, with the words as well, right? Words and pictures. Did it feel right? And rationally, does it show me, and you said the keyword, trust and authority. So if it felt right, and it also reads right and mentally matches up, and you go, yeah, actually that looks like an 8.5 as well, then well done. But my question is, you just gave your own business a number. I'm going to ask you and challenge you right now, open your website and show a potential customer and say, how would you rate the business or this business out of 10 just based on the website? And can I tell you, there are more websites out there that have a lower rating and a perception than what your actual business is. And perception and reality are actually the same in the customer's mind. And so we're dealing with customers all the time who go, oh, don't look at my website, it's really bad, but oh, we're really good service. And I'm like, your website says 4 out of 10. You say you're 8 out of 10. how's the customer meant to go? You're actually
Yeah,
pulling people off yourself.
yeah, and then like, don't even get into the messaging, you know, where there'll be a lot of vagueness, you know, like helping businesses scale through, you know, honing customer service excellence. I'm like, what is that?
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to do that. You know, that doesn't tell me anything about what you do as a business. That's one thing we see so much is that within that 7-second window that we have to tell people who we are, what we do, a lot of times the message just isn't there.
Yeah.